Hello, everyone. So today I have the pleasure I'm having Kevin Blaney with me. He's coming from Fellowship Home Loans. He is a loan officer that specializes with reverse mortgage. Now, a little bit of background, me and Kevin started in the business. I was actually a loan officer. We started in the business in 2003. We used to work side by side next to each other. He stayed in the business. I became a realtor. But he has focused on reverse mortgages for about 15 years now. So he's been working as a loan officer for 20 years, focusing specifically on reverse mortgages. He's going to go over the process and go over kind of the mistakes that's been happening, right, Kev? Some of the stuff that's been happening in the past 10 years, it was a lot of loan officers that took advantage of people. But now there's rules in place to actually protect people. Is that correct, Kevin?
Yep, that's exactly correct. Basically, discussing a reverse mortgage is typically an uphill battle
Right.
because everyone has a bad, negative feeling about reverses. I used to be that same person 15 years ago.
Yeah.
We'd have clients calling in all the time and they'd say, do you do reverse mortgages? At that point in time, I was not offering that loan product.
Right.
And I would say to people, no, why would you sell your house to the bank? Why would you do that? And then I vividly remembered I was driving home one day from work. I said, you know what? I'm telling people about this loan product as if they're selling their house to the bank. I don't even know that that's definitely the case. Let me research it. So I spent between 6 to 8 months completely researching the product. I mean, I annoyed the help desk at HUD to constantly call them to ask them questions about the product, and I discovered that it wasn't selling your house to the bank. It was simply giving options,
Okay.
and really a lot of flexibility.
Now, Kevin, thanks for that insight. What is a reverse mortgage?
So a reverse mortgage, it's a home loan, just like a typical mortgage. Most people are accustomed to a traditional loan where you pay back the money that you've borrowed plus interest to the bank. With a reverse mortgage, you have the choice each and every month. You can pay back the loan on a monthly basis by paying the balance and also paying the interest. You can pay just the interest, so make a lower payment and keep your balance the same. Or you have the option each and every month to make no payment at all and let the interest add to the balance.
Okay.
You're allowed to do that for as long as you live in the home, and the loan gets paid back when you either decide to sell or when you leave the house to your heirs. So it gives flexibility.
And then also, when is a reverse mortgage appropriate, right? And what are some of the benefits? Can you cover some of that?
So typically we start at age 62. So you're going to want to work with age 62 and above. There are programs for less younger than 62, starting at age 55. But typically it will be for a senior that is in retirement or thinking about retirement and wants more flexibility. So let's say you have a senior who's saying, you know what, if I could just have a place secured for living, maybe I could retire. So if we take the mortgage balance that they have now and put it onto a reverse mortgage, that could be something where they can live comfortably in retirement. You can also purchase a home with a reverse mortgage.
Okay.
That's something that a lot of people do not know. And they'd wonder, how could that possibly be done? You can buy a house with a reverse mortgage. So you'd make a down payment on the home.
Right.
And then you'd have a mortgage balance. And then rather than having to make monthly payments, you can let the interest accrue onto the balance. So that could allow you to keep a lot more cash with your other assets, letting those perform for you. And you can live comfortably in retirement with no payments. And we always look at the long term. We take a look at the 5-year, 10-year, 20-year horizon.
Mm-hmm.
We also take a look at what the horizon is for your heirs, for your kids.
Okay.
So there are a lot of times where you can leave more to your heirs when you have a reverse mortgage than if you didn't.
Okay. Very good. So basically, I mean, from my understanding, it's when a person's in a situation where they're in need of income, they have no other place to stay, and maybe they want to stay in their place, but sometimes the taxes are a bit much, right? And this is something that's obviously discussed with their heirs, correct? Because this is something that they're engaging in, right? Also, another question is Do they have the option to sell or get out of it at any moment? Are they stuck? Are they stuck with it, or is it a regular mortgage? Can you explain that a little bit more?
They're not stuck with it. They could sell their house anytime they please.
Okay.
You mentioned the family and the heirs. We bring the entire family into the picture.
Okay.
We'll oftentimes speak with the financial advisor, the family's attorney, all the kids, all the heirs, all family members. It's a group decision. It's a family decision. I need to answer my phone in 10 years from now, 20 years from now, without any hesitation,
Okay.
right? I need to sleep well at night. So with a loan product like this, you have to speak to the family and the heirs. I'm setting this up for the long term. So when we do the right thing, I don't have trouble sleeping. I can answer the phone. I'm never fearful of who's on the other side of it, because for 15 years, I've been setting this program up for families and really helping them out.
And what has been done to really protect people? Because as we mentioned, there were a few abuses before when the product first started becoming very popular. So what are
Yep.
some of the protections in place right now?
It's a great question. So that's a lot of the reason why there's a bad image of the reverse mortgage out there, because you've seen that photo, that nightly news where they show the senior citizen out on the curb with all their stuff being removed from the house because this person got evicted because of a reverse mortgage. The way that it used to be, you had to be 62 to get into the program. So if there were two spouses and the husband was, let's say, 62 and the wife was 59, the loan officer would deed off the 59-year-old spouse, leaving the house just in the name of the older spouse. That would be fine at closing. 15 years later, when the husband passes on, the wife would come to find out, well, you need to pay back the loan now or sell the house because you're not on the loan. So protections have been put in place so that any spouse is protected underneath the rules of the loan, even if they're not of age. So let's say somebody's 62 and the spouse is 52, that person is recognized through the loan and they're able to benefit from the same exact features and flexibility of the loan, even if that older spouse passes on in the future. So the program actually almost acts like a life insurance for the surviving spouse.
So that 52-year-old is protected.
Correct. Yep. There is no, if you are married, your spouse is now protected. Whether they're part of the loan or not, they will be taken into consideration so that in the future they are protected.
Okay. Now, if somebody wants to get started or at least get some information, like walk us through the process.
So the first thing is they give me a call. They get a free consultation of how the program works, how it could work for their family. We see how it could fit into their financial picture, see what it could do for them.
Okay.
Talk it out. It's a conversation loan. We never make a decision on the first day. We talk it out. We figure out if it's going to make sense.
Okay.
Then after we've gone through all the ins and outs of the loan, they're required to do a counseling with a HUD advisor.
Okay.
So HUD insures the loan, the Department of Housing and Urban Development. And what they do is a counseling. It's almost a system of checks and balances so that the loan officer, myself, has explained the program. Now they're getting an explanation of the program from the HUD counselor. It takes about 45 minutes.
Okay.
It's done over the phone typically.
Mm-hmm.
They're given a certificate. They come back to me with that certificate saying, yes, Kevin, I've been counseled. We're aware of all the ins and outs of the program. Here's what we want to consider now that we've done this counseling. Then we go ahead and get all the paperwork applications signed up. We have an appraisal done of the home. The home value comes back, tells us the exact specifics of how the reverse mortgage is going to work. And then we get to closing. So typical process takes about 30 to 45 days. And, it sounds a little cliche. And I say that the reverse mortgage process starts at the day of the closing. It doesn't end. Remember, it's a long-term open-ended loan that I developed that relationship with the family from that point on. So it's a client banker relationship that lasts for decades, and that's something I enjoy doing.
Okay, Kevin, thank you so much for the information. If somebody wanted to find out more, how can they reach you?
So I actually do have a morning talk show that is available in certain areas called Coffee with KLB. They
Okay.
could also follow me on Instagram for updates on all things reverse mortgage, all things real estate, all things mortgage related. That's Coffee with KLB.
Okay.
And they could also give me a call in my office directly, 516-714-4169, and reach out, give a call and see how the reverse would work for your clients.
All right, Kev, thanks. I mean, this was really good information. I'm going to have you on again and talk about other things more specific to reverse mortgages. But enjoy your day, man, and we'll talk soon, okay?
You too, Raf.